Anna, you've mentioned that mergers are not that common in the arts sector and it's a tricky process. Can you tell me some of the things that you observed as part of this merger process?
I think one of the things that's tricky is the arts sector tends to be really value driven, and so individual executives, trustees all hold very, very tightly to the purposes for which the charity was set up. And that means that giving up any of that is really, really difficult to do. And it happens for different people at different stages of the journey. So you might have a kind of executive team or a group of senior managers and leaders within the organisations who do get to grips, who start to understand what the benefits might be. But then their board of trustees is sort of several steps behind because they haven't been personally involved, they're slightly out of the detail, they've just got to catch up on that change curve, and that's really, really difficult. I think another thing is around living with uncertainty. I have sort of enormous respect and sympathy for individuals going through the change process. They partly feel a bit like turkeys voting for Christmas, and that's a really unenviable situation for people to be in. And although merger in the private sector happens pretty fast, certainly Sound of Music took place over quite a long period of time, and in fact the effects of it are still sort of flowing through as well. So it's a long time to live with uncertainty, and I think that needs to be understood on a personal level a lot. And it also means that the Arts Council needs to also live with that uncertainty for a long time. So it might affect what the programme might be, who might be delivering it, etc. I think that there are a huge number of variables which makes planning really, really difficult. So, for example, financial planning for a programme that you haven't yet developed with lots of uncertainty within it. You don't know if you're going to have an artistic director or executive director come artistic director post. All of these kind of things really matter and make it really, really tricky to put together a model that actually makes sense and that you can then live with. So perhaps the learning is about doing lots and lots of iterations of that. I know that Matthew talked about doing optimistic and pessimistic modelling, and they're even on the pessimistic side of pessimistic now. So you know, that's really tricky, and it takes a lot of iterations to keep working through that stuff. And I think there's also enormous potential for people to change themselves through the process. One of the things that I think was great about Sound of Music is that individuals really got to develop skills and strengths that perhaps had been latent before, but it gave them a real opportunity to show their mettle and try out new stuff, and that in itself is a great legacy of the change programme, I think.